It was one of those dusky evenings when the air feels heavy with secrets. The streetlights flickered weakly, and the sound of distant thunder rolled across the city. Near a worn-out gas station on the outskirts stood 4 bikers, their engines cooling, leather jackets catching the wind. Their leader, Logan, was a man people feared but secretly admired. Once a soldier, now a protector of the forgotten. His team, Rico, the Joker, Jake, the mechanic, and Maya, the fearless rider, followed him everywhere. As they prepared to leave, they heard something that froze them. "A child's cry, please! Someone help!" The billionaire. "He's beating my mama!" The bikers turned. A little girl, no older than 8, stumbled toward them, barefoot, face streaked with dirt and tears, clutching a small teddy bear missing one eye. Logan knelt beside her. Hey, slow down, sweetheart. What's your name?" I'm Lila," she sobbed. "My mama works as a janitor in the big house on the hill. The man who owns it? He's hurting her. He's rich and nobody listens when she screams." Maya's heart broke instantly. She ran all the way here. "Barefoot," she whispered. She must have escaped. The bikers exchanged glances. That big house on the hill belonged to billionaire Victor Crane, a man who owned factories, lands, and politicians. But behind closed doors, people whispered he was cruel. Logan stood up, his eyes darkening. "Get her some water," he said quietly. "And start your engines." Rico blinked. "We're going up there?" "That's Crane's property, boss." Logan looked down the road, the long, winding path that led to the mansion. "Then tonight," he said, "we knock on a billionaire's door." The road to Crane's mansion was long and silent, lined with dead trees that bent like watchers. The rain began to fall, thin and cold. Inside the mansion, Maria, Lila's mother, lay on the marble floor, her cheek swollen. She had been scrubbing the grand staircase when Victor Crane, angry over a broken vase, snapped. "You think because I pay you, you can slack off?" he hissed. She tried to explain, trembling. "Sir, I didn't, it slipped." He slapped her again. "Don't talk back!" For years, Maria had taken his insults silently. She needed the job. Lila needed food, but tonight, her daughter had seen the violence, the rage, and she'd run upstairs. Victor poured himself whiskey, looking out at the storm. He didn't notice the headlights approaching through the rain. 5 beams slicing the darkness like blades. The bikers parked near the iron gates. Logan stepped off his bike, his boots crunching on gravel. "Stay with Lila," he told Maya. "If anything happens, ride out fast." The rest followed him toward the mansion. The gate was locked, but a heavy lock was no match for Jake's metal cutter. Within seconds, they were inside. As they approached, they heard a faint sob, echoing through the rain. Maria was in the garden now, forced to pick up broken glass. Victor stood nearby, shouting into his phone. "If the board doesn't sign by tomorrow, I'll fire every one of them. I don't care." Logan's jaw tightened. He motioned for the others to stay quiet and walked forward. "Evening," he called out. "Quite a storm you've got here." Victor spun around, furious. "Who the hell are you? You trespassers?" "We're the people who heard your employee screaming," Logan said evenly. "And we don't like bullies." Victor laughed, cold and cruel. "You think you can come here on your dirty bikes and tell me how to run my house? You don't know who I am." "We don't care who you are," Logan replied. "But we know who she is." He pointed to Maria, trembling and bleeding. And that's enough. The confrontation ended badly that night. Victor called his guards. The bikers had to retreat, but they didn't leave empty-handed. Logan had taken photos of Maria's injuries and recorded Victor's threats on his body camera. They took Maria and Lila back to their safe house, an old workshop at the edge of town. Lila ran to her mother, crying, "Mama, I thought he would kill you." Maria hugged her tight. "You saved me, my love. You were so brave." Maya treated Maria's wounds while Logan made calls. "We'll need a lawyer one not afraid of rich devils," he muttered. But the next day, the news was worse than they imagined. Victor Crane's lawyers had already filed a report claiming the bikers attacked him and kidnapped his housekeeper, Rico, slammed the newspaper down. "He flipped the whole story." Logan's eyes narrowed. "Then we tell the truth, but not to the police, to the people." He knew someone, a local reporter named Grace Harlow, known for exposing corruption. They contacted her and shared everything, the recordings, photos, and Lila's tearful account. Grace agreed to investigate. "You're picking a fight with the most powerful man in the city?" she warned. "Then let's make it a fight worth watching," Logan said. That night, as the bikers planned their next move, Maria came to them quietly. "Why are you helping us?" she asked. Logan smiled faintly. "Because once someone helped me when I had nothing. Now, it's my turn." He looked at Lila, sleeping on a cot beside her teddy bear. And no child should ever cry the way she did. 3 days later, Grace's story broke online. Billionaire accused of abusing. Janitor evidence points to hidden violence. The internet exploded. People began asking questions. Reporters camped outside Crane's mansion, but Victor wasn't going down quietly. He arranged a press conference trying to paint Maria as a liar and the bikers as criminals. Logan and his team decided to show up not with words, but proof. That night, they hacked into Crane's private CCTV feed. What they found made their blood run cold. Recordings of other employees being threatened and beaten. Years of abuse buried behind gold walls. Grace broadcasted the footage live. Within hours, the police surrounded the mansion. When they entered, Victor was furious, shouting about fake videos, until the officers showed him his own security hard. Maria stood in the crowd outside, holding Lila's hand. The little girl looked up at the flashing lights and whispered, "Mama, is it over?" Maria nodded, tears streaming. "Yes, baby. It's over." Victor was arrested that night, his empire collapsing as the truth spread. Weeks later, the city was different. Maria had found a new job, cleaning at a local school where Lila studied for free. The bikers often stopped by, their engines no longer symbols of fear but of safety. One afternoon, as the sun dipped low, Maria stood outside the school gates and saw Logan. "You never told me," she said softly, "why you risked everything for us." He smiled. "Because power means nothing if you can't use it to protect the powerless." Lila ran out, holding her mother's hand. "Uncle Logan, look, I got an A in science." He laughed. "That's my girl." The sound of her laughter filled the air, pure, innocent, free. As the bikers rode away down the long road, the city watched. They weren't outlaws anymore. They were the voices for those who had none. And somewhere, under the golden light, Lila whispered a prayer only heaven could hear. "Thank you for sending them. God, the angels with bikes." Oh.